Hello, my name is David. I'm from Germany. I'm the application support from Kling Freitag, what is a loudspeaker manufacturer from Germany, Hanover. And I'll be here in this wonderful theater in Hamilton to update all the amplifiers with new setups, with new firmware, with, let's say, do a bit final tuning. Yeah, that's why I'm here. Sure. The system that we have here is mainly based on a linear system called Sequenza 10. This is a double 10-inch 3x1-inch linear system from us. We have a touring system, we have also outfills, delays for the balconies, we have a big point source system for the first rows, and we have what is special, subwoofer system that's fully cardioid. What makes the system better than the best in the world? Well, I'm one of the two designers of it, so it must be perfect. K&F has a special meaning in the audio world because we are well known for, let's say, emotion in sound. So, for example, you can use the Kling Freitag system for a rock and roll show, but also if you think about opera houses like the C Stage in Bregenz, you can do opera, and C Stage in Bregenz has 1200 loudspeakers from us just for the main PA system. So that shows that we are in both worlds. We are in the touring world, we are in the installation world, and we are in rock and roll, and we are also in classical music and opera. Yeah, I'm one of the two designers. I was designing Sequenza 10 with Martin Kling, the former owner and R&D chief from Kling Freitag. We was spent in many years, 9 years on the system. So we had the third guy who was doing software, so we were 3 people working on the system for 3 years. My meaning of a loudspeaker is you shouldn't hear it. You just should hear music, and when the loudspeakers are off, you should think something is missing, but you should hear there is a loudspeaker not working. For me, it's like the meaning of a loudspeaker is simply transport emotions and not be in front of everything as a loudspeaker. The loudspeaker should be in the back. You just push the event in the front. So the music, the artists on stage, or the music on stage should be just everywhere in the most natural way as possible. That's what we try to do. I was joined the company in 1996. Was doing the R&D with Martin Kling for 12 years, and in 2008 I we need a proper application support, and I developed my own department in the company that's called Application Support Worldwide. But my background is I be just a sound engineer, simple, easy sound engineer, and I joined the company by an accident. I was just asked to help in the production for 1 week. That was 19 years before. Yes, I learned a lot because Martin Kling was self-educated, so I be self-educated as well in sound engineering and in develop loudspeakers, and also in all I know about audio, what is a lot, because Martin was a big teacher and we were studying physics 12 years while working, because it's all based on physics, even if it's emotion, but the background for the loudspeaker is physics. We have now since 2008 we have a new design team with young people from universities, but the good thing is they keep all the ideas that Martin and I had and just try to work in the same way as we did. What was really emotional, even for Martin and me, when we was not sure if the product is ready, so we were sitting in our listening room, listen to some tracks, and we both was knowing that the product is ready when we saw a tear in the eye of the other with some tracks. And there was always a moment where we say, yes, now we're done. This is what I mean, loudspeaker can transport emotions. What brought me to this industry? Actually, I'm a musician as well, and this is a funny moment where I was 11. My parents bring me to a youth weekend where we was camping, and I saw the social worker of my school running around with big loudspeakers because he had a small rental company. And This day I was first time get in the PA business because I was directly asked if I can help him with something because it was freaking interesting. And I saw my first blues band. That was a German blues band who was really famous in Germany. It was the most selling artist for years, and they're from my hometown, and they're actually quite close friends of mine right now. I was a sound engineer of this band later for 10 years. And this day brings me to the business, and I was start to work as freelancing from 11, just cleaning cables, do whatever was necessary, and I was touring from 15 beside high school. And my mom was forced me, boy, study something, and I was tried to study a bit to be a teacher. I was joined the university for 1 semester, but I was signed in for 8 semesters, and after the 3rd semester, my mom say, boy, do whatever you want. I know you do. You go your way. And well, she was not completely wrong. So actually, I have no job. I have only hobbies. Oh, I play guitar, and I mostly play, let's say, soul blues stuff from the 50s to this time. And I joined my first important band in 1989. I'm still playing there, so that's my second family. The band's name is Lösekes Blues Gang. It's a bit difficult for English, I guess, but we're still recording. We're playing Europe, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Netherlands sometimes. So it's fun. I don't have a job. You can listen to the last record on Spotify. Yes, you can. Actually, the last record is called Masters and Soul, and is we have some own songs. They're a bit soul blues, mixture between Chicago and soul blues, and we take some more or less unknown songs from the older guys and just play it in our way. But the band was playing with Magic Slim. The band was playing with many of the black guys when they was coming over the first time to Germany. So they have a lot of background with this, let's say with the 50s, 60s Chicago stuff, and this is also my business. Privately, I'm not interested in loudspeakers at all. So in my home, I have some loudspeakers somewhere. I don't have an expensive hi-fi system because the only place where right now serious listen to music is in my car. Because I have too much music around me mostly. So at home I like silence. And when it comes to technology, I like motorcycles, mostly made in Milwaukee, and rebuild them and drive them, and yeah, that's my private life. And the technology in my private life. I think we have a quite good acceptance in the world, especially because of some big projects we did, like the C Stage in Bregenz was one of the door openers, and now we are worldwide. I'm just back from China and did a really huge theater in Harbin, it's quite north of China, and actually Asia is a really big market for us, but we're everywhere, more or less. We have now around 30 distributions worldwide. And it's getting better and better. We are still a small company, we're a family business. I only can speak about Germany because it turns into the normal job that you need to learn for 3 years. So you learn audio, you learn lighting, you learn video, you learn staging, but mostly the people will be used as cheap workers. When you're interested in the real business, take a band and start touring, and don't work too much for a big rental company in the beginning. Just try to learn it on your own and be a musician. This, for me, it's a really important thing that the sound engineer knows something about music and not just about technique. Because the technique is just the instrument for the sound engineer, but he is a musician too. Actually, he's the most important musician for a band. What always is my interest is music, not... For sure I like the technical part, but my main interest is music, not how it looks like into a loudspeaker. That's the interest for music, what brings me to this, what I like to do always when I do something. I like to understand why it is like it is. That's the most important thing. So I like to understand why the music sounds like it sounds like on the loudspeaker. So I need to understand how the loudspeaker works. I need to understand how the rest works. So that's what I learned from Martin Kling. Learn how it works, then you understand it. I travel a lot. I was just counting, I had last year around 58 long-haul flights, and I like traveling. It's nice to be at home, but after 3 weeks I'm getting like, well, where I go next and when. And on the season, on what's going on, could be that I'll be 2 months mostly more or less in the office, and then I'll be on the road for 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks. Could be that I'll just be away for 1 week and be back, and then be 1 week in the office, be again on the road for 1 week or for some days in Europe, because you know Europe is quite small compared to North America. So I can say, oh, I'll be tomorrow in Switzerland, oh, next day I come to Netherlands. So that's quite convenient in Europe. I like traveling. It must be a good mixture. It's not always, I don't live for my company, I live for my hobbies. And the good thing is I have a lot of space in my company, so I can more or less do whatever I want. So when I have a week in the office, I maybe say, okay, next 2 days I work at home. I don't work because I have too much overtime, so I just go, or I decide my travels alone. I just tell my boss, well, boss, I go over there. I don't ask him if I can. He's just say I go there because we are family again, and we trust each other, and he know what I'm doing is normally useful for the company, so he gives me my space and my freedom. It's a cool company. So everything is made in Germany, and this is also what especially the other distributions from other countries like to have. They like to have German engineering made in Germany, and because I think the quality level is quite high, not only on the sound side, also on the manufacturing side. The building quality is really high. It's like you can take an old model from us, it's called CA1215. You find loudspeakers, they are 15 years old, 16 years old on the market, and you still sell them for just 60% from the new price that time. You still can sell them for, don't know, 1,200 euros or something. Because they're built like a tank. Sometimes you need to repaint them, that's all. So we are standing for quality, mostly. We are just based in Hanover, so all the other, my distributions are just different companies who buy systems from us. If you think about our biggest competitor in Germany, that's D&B, and there are now maybe 200 people. We are still small, but, well, efficient. I think in this, just without the pink glasses, on the level where we are playing, they're just good loudspeaker companies. Some people more prefer the sound from this company, some people just prefer the sound from that company. But we are somehow having our own sound. That means we have no sound. We try to be just natural. I think that is what the people like in our systems. It's like a big PA system, but it's more hi-fi than PA. No, it's not the overall thing. It would be really technical when I start to talk about phase, for example. But we try to make our systems completely phase congruent, so on the same phase shift, what is quite important for music. But in the end, just listen to a song that you like and then tell me how it affects you. I can tell you. I don't know. I can tell that my ex was, when we was developing Sequenza 10, we was the last 3 weeks locked in a big hall. Just prepare setups and try everything, and on the last day I said, hey, come listen what I'm doing, and I was playing a song from the Eagles, and I was standing there crying after 1 second like a river. Like, wow, that's the best thing I ever heard. So if you design a loudspeaker, you have mostly a high frequency driver, you have a low frequency driver, and they need to be exactly in the same phase shift. What the most companies don't look for, they just make it phase congruent on one point, on the crossover frequency. We always do it completely. But if you talk about a big system where you have loudspeakers here, loudspeakers there, they need to be in the same time. So you need to do a time alignment, so you set them all on the same time position. And what's special is with our products, you don't need to take care of the phase anymore, because when you drive all the systems with the same controller, they're always on a complete same phase shift when they're on the same position, and the position you just do with the time. We have the main PA system left and right, so the both left and right line array hangs. We have the balcony delays. They're hanging 3 meters before the main PA system. So what I do, I take a delay and just put the balcony loudspeakers 3 meters backwards. I have the subwoofers in the left and right corners, so they have a different position to the audience, so I always also put them with a delay backwards. So I just take care that all the loudspeakers are physically on different positions, but on the acoustical side they are all on the same position. That's what we are doing here.